Hold on, no, you haven't. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
Okay, I need you to stop moving because you're making us dizzy.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Sabatier, let's see. There you are. Your DOC number is 554613. You're here today seeking a pardon with restoration of firearms. You were sentenced in Orleans Parish. Let's see, first in June of 2009. And then you have another sentencing date, June 18th of 2013. Both were for possession of marijuana. On the first one in June of 2009, you received a 5-year DOC sentence that was suspended. You were placed on active supervised probation. The second conviction, also possession of marijuana, you received a 3-year DOC sentence that also was suspended and you were placed on active supervised probation. Is all that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Would you answer Mr. Freeman, please?
Okay, Mr. Sabatier. What was the deal? Why were you selling dope or having dope all the time?
I was just young and being a follower, man. As I look back on it, I honestly call it a product of your environment.
All right. Have you ever been married, Mr. Sabatier?
Hey, you said, have I ever been married?
Right.
No, I'm currently engaged.
Okay. And you're 34 years old?
I'm 33. I'll be 34 in August.
Okay, well, birthday coming up soon. Did you ever pay your balance to probation pro?
Yep. All my fees and everything should be paid off. They wouldn't have let me off parole. They wouldn't have let me off probation if I wouldn't have paid those fees.
Why you need this expungement? What do you need it for?
To be honest, I already have my record expunged, so I pretty much have a clear record. And the only reason I really applied for the pardon is because I really want my gun rights restored. And it's not the fact that I actually need a gun. It's just me having a clean record and staying out of trouble for so long. It's just the fact that if I ever wanted to purchase a gun, I can't. Because of well, I don't want to say it's minor weed charges because it was definitely a felony convictions, but it's non-violent offenses. That's no longer on my record already.
Have you ever been in any treatment for drugs, alcohol?
I did do drug court. When I was on the 5 years probation, I did drug court.
Did you complete it?
Yep, I definitely completed it, got the certificate and everything.
Okay, so you graduated from drug court. Okay, let me ask you this. I saw where, and you were being honest, that at the time of the investigation, which was a while back, that you said you had smoked marijuana 6 months ago. When's the last time you smoked?
It's been a while, man. I haven't been smoking.
Okay, how long?
I would say at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
Okay. Were you on probation at the time you got the second arrest?
No, I wasn't. They thought I was on probation, but I wasn't on probation when I got the second arrest.
So you did do the drug court and all that, and then you
Yes, ma'am.
kept doing the same thing. Yes.
Yes.
You got rearrested. So tell me, for your first arrest or conviction rather in 2009, how much marijuana was in your possession?
Maybe like 4 grams.
And what about the second time?
The second time I had like maybe 2 grams.
So you were selling it?
Not, if I'm being totally honest, I was smoking.
Yeah, so that was just for your own use?
Yeah, the first time I believe they charged me with possession with attempt to distribute, but it was literally like 3 bags of marijuana.
All right, and so you still live in New Orleans. Where are you employed?
I'm currently a chef now. I'm working at the Louis Hotel.
Head chef?
I'm sous chef. working on it. Eventually, I will be executive chef.
That's your goal, to be
Yes,
executive?
ma'am. That's definitely long-term goals, executive chef.
How long you been at Lowe's?
I've been there a little over 6 years.
Oh, good. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask.
Mr. Tillis has some questions.
Why do you need a gun?
Like I said, I really don't need a gun. I only apply for the pardon because it's the simple right of me just not. If I ever wanted a gun, I can't purchase it. But that don't necessarily mean I need a gun.
What would you purchase one for if you needed one?
Like if I just want to be able to purchase one in the future if I wanted to.
All right, Mr. Sabatier, is there a statement you want to make to us before we vote?
I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time to even look at my case. Like I said, I've already took into the step as far as getting my record expunged, so I pretty much have a clean record already. And hopefully everything go in my favor.
All right, I think we're ready to vote, Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Sabatier, first off, I saw where I think it's your wife, your fiance had wrote that you did this all on your own, that you initiated and everything, did it yourself. I want to say that you should be proud of yourself for initiating this. On the same hand, Mr. Sabatier, you say you smoked a year and a half ago, you went through drug court, you went through other things. And be honest with you, you're still smoking, which gives me some concern. So my vote at this time, I think you need a cleansing period. I vote to deny.
Mr. Tillis?
My vote is to grant without firearm.
Ms. Stapleton?
My vote is to grant without firearm.
Mr. Prater?
I'd say grant with firearms.
All right, Mr. Sabatier, my vote would be to grant also pardon with restoration of firearms. However, you got the favorable recommendation, you got 4 favorable votes. We did not agree on the with or without firearms. That's a split vote.
Can somebody change their vote?
Okay.
I'm okay with the firearm.
Okay, so you received 3 votes with the restoration of firearms, so that is the recommendation we'll make on your behalf. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I got one question.
Listen, my vote is based on your work stability, the fact that it's a nonviolent offense, it was a low quantity, and your record has been expunged. Now, what's your question?
My question is, in order to actually get it approved, how many votes would I actually need?
4.
4. You got approved.
You got approved.
Thank you, guys.
It was issued, the pardon was, we agreed on that. The issue was with or without the restoration of your firearms rights. That was the question. But you got it.
And you do understand that this is just the recommendation that we're sending to the governor. So you can't leave from here saying you're pardoned.
Right.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you understood, because some people might not understand that.
Yeah, you gotta wait. If we make the recommendation, the governor has no specific time frame within which he has to act, but your next correspondence should be from their office.
Okay, thank you, guys.
But
they gave it to me, Dad.
I gotta tell you, I love the result of this one, and we're gonna watch a small YouTube clip of Mr. Brandon in a second. But why do I love it? Well, I think it showed us a lot about the parole board members. It showed sheriff. Remember, he was a sheriff, and we just saw him. They did not allow the restoration of firearm rights, but that was to a man who seemed that he would be a risk. And here was this case where the sheriff didn't hold. Oh, wow, you like Mr. Freeman. Well, you smoked like a year and a half ago, so I don't. Like compared to Connecticut, where in Connecticut you have marijuana being given to you while you're like still in a halfway house on probation because it's called a medical card. And in Louisiana, it's like, well, I think 2 years ago you claimed that you smoked, so I'm not going to give it to you. But I like that. I like that you can see where how the sheriff feels about the Second Amendment rights, how Mr. Nasa feels about the Second Amendment rights, and then how Miss Stapleton went and changed her vote. I believe what I saw from Brandon. I think he wasn't articulate in the way of describing it, but he wasn't manipulative either. Wasn't making up the story. Well, I want to go hunting, which we see in a lot of these cases. People say it, but you don't get the feeling they really do. They're just saying he's like, I want the ability to do it. And I think someone who's more articulate might have expressed it a little differently, which is, I just want to have my Second Amendment rights if I wanted to. I don't plan on getting a gun, but I want to have those rights. And that's what I heard when I heard him describing why he wanted it. And he had just one thing on his record, possession of a couple grams, please. And they actually had the audacity to charge him with intent to distribute, which is a whole different discussion here. But I really like the outcome, and I like the insight that we gained from the board members. Now let's go take a visit. It's a 90-second YouTube video, courtesy of Richard finding it, of Brandon doing some of his chefery, and we get to see some of the Louisiana classic dishes in this little clip. So let's go take a dive into Louisiana.
If it wasn't for my son, I probably wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing right now. He motivated me to just want to change and do something different. I was doing the same thing, getting the same result. I realized in order to get a different result, you have to do different things. And my son motivated me to want to do that. I'm Brandon Sabatel. I'm lead cook at the Maison Dupree Hotel. I actually began working in food service when I was 18 years old. Fresh out of high school, I went to Cafe Reconcile, and I was introduced to the food world. I just love cooking in general. Right from day one, I knew that this is what I'm supposed to do. But me and Mr. Rick kind of just had a bond right from the beginning. And I just asked him, like, if I cut my hair, would you give me an opportunity? And just from there, we just been working together. Tourism is a big part of the city, and it's a way of making money, and it's how we bring in revenue. Without tourism, I don't think the French Quarter would be what it is. I probably wouldn't even have a job. New Orleans will always be home. Tourism is how.
What's not to love about this? I think it's great, and I hope that we continue to see him grow and thrive and be successful. And I hope that this was just another step in that direction. And let's jump in to the next hearing.